That was ridiculous, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of drumming royalty, John Blackwell. Welcome here.
Man. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who don't know John, I know there's probably not many of you, but John played with Prince,
yes.
Patti Labelle,
yes.
And you played with, why am I drawing a blank right now? I'm just still in awe of that. You played with everyone, it seems, over the years.
Almost everyone.
Yeah.
You know, some people that I haven't played with that I wish maybe one day I'll get the chance.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake you played with?
Yes.
Now, first of all, before we get started, I want to thank a bunch of people who helped make this happen. There's Tama Drums, Aaron from Tama, Sean Brown, and Bob Terry from Yamaha. They helped out with a ton of stuff. And Zildjian Cymbals and Zildjian Sticks. Awesome. So very grateful for their help with all of this. And if you guys want to know more about what John has going on, he has a John Blackwell project. That's an album that you put out a few years ago.
My first album. Yeah.
A new one coming out soon. So,
yes. Drum Test.
What's it called?
Drum Test.
Drum Test. Yeah, so go check out johnblackwellproject.com to hear about that. You can also find him on Facebook. And he's put out 2 DVDs with Hudson Music, one called Techniques, Groove, and Showmanship, and then another one called the John Blackwell Master Series. And so you definitely check those out on Amazon or on the Hudson Music website. But man, people say they saw me in the side camera and they were talking in the chat and my face was like, and so then Victor cut to one of the angles. And so, sorry, that's in the final video. But yeah, so drumming discipline and improvisation.
Drumming discipline is basically talking about, to make things simple, is playing the music.
Yeah.
The way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
Play the song, but, groove.
Right.
And give other people space to do their thing. And then when it's your turn, then you unleash all that you can unleash from your vocabulary of techniques.
Yeah.
But don't unleash the techniques while the singer's singing, or while the piano player or guitar player or trombone player or saxophone player is in the middle of their solo.
Yeah.
Now, if they ask for that, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Happy-go-lucky, do your thing. But normally, in certain situations, they want you to groove.
Right.
Back me up. Give me a nice pocket so I can do my thing.
Yeah.
And then, when it's your turn, unleash all your chops, all your, or better yet, sometimes you don't need that.
Yeah.
You can just groove. Like, prime example, Cold Sweat.
Yeah.
James Brown's Cold Sweat. He gave the drummer a drum solo, Clyde Stubblefield.
Yeah.
And Clyde just kept the same groove. Basically he said, we're going to give the drummer some, You got a drummer, and then Clyde said, that's all. Clyde didn't say, you got a drummer. It was like the groove was so locked and funky that he didn't want to move.
And so is that something that you gain with experience? I know you were giving examples before in your early days. I don't want to say any names. He's told us so many stories. I don't want to share any that I'm not supposed to. But give us an example in your early days, because this is probably something you learned from experience of making the mistakes.
Yeah, well, when I started playing in nightclubs.
Yeah.
I started playing nightclubs when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
So school in the day, nightclub at night, and, all I really knew then was you know, my pocket, because my dad, that's all he knew.
Yeah.
And that's why he got called, because he could groove. And he had some serious chops too, but it was never really a time. When they gave him time, he did his thing. But you know, me so like excited to be playing, you know, we'd be grooving, and you got people on the dance floor. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're gonna get a drummer song. Little John Blackwell Jr. here. All right, go. Dun, dun, bam. And everybody's on the dance floor like, oh, let me go sit down. I'll wait until you finish. Yeah. It was just like the groove just went right out the door. Yeah. And I'm just saying that, you know, because certain songs, there's no need, even if you get a solo, there's no need to go all out.
Yeah.
Just keep that groove. Like another good song to check out is Funky Drummer by James Brown. Another song that when he gave the drummer a solo, and James even said it when he was letting everybody know he's gonna give the drummer something, he told Clyde, he said, you ain't got to do no soloing, brother, just keep what you got.
Yeah.
Don't turn it loose, because it's a mother.
Yeah.
Meaning it's funky the way it is. Just he basically just want everybody to lay out and let Clyde just. At the end of the song, he said, he you know, he made a little slick at the end. He said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notes you hear. Yeah. and that right there just taught me, okay, so it's all about groove. And some songs, yeah, you can just go for it.
Yeah.
Some songs you just keep it the way it is.
How do we know, or how do you know when the time is to do a little bit more, or when the time is to just like groove through a solo part or through a part where there is space? There, like 2004 when I was on the musicology tour, yeah. We used to do a song called "Whole Lotta Love" by Led Zeppelin, yeah. And Prince would turn me loose on that song and leave the stage because he probably was going to change or whatever, yeah, you know, and take a rest or whatever. So he left me on stage all by myself for maybe 5-10 minutes. And that right there told me, yeah, okay. You know, the song goes like. So from that point, I just started building and turning it into something else. And then, you know, solo. Start, beginning, climax, you know, and then conclusion, and then Prince is back on stage, and we right back into that song, or he'll cut it, and then we go into something different. But if he's still on stage, like we used to do a song called, well, when I was in the band, we did a song called Musicology, and he would give me a drum solo in that, and you know. Solo, and I'll just do the funky drummer beat because it's like the start of the show. Yeah. It's not time for, you know, gigantic solo, you know, so it's like. Back into the song. Yeah. So I just applied the Clyde Stubblefield Funky Drummer final solo on that song, on the Funky Drummer song, to that solo. Cool.
Yeah.
And so
that's just an example of just groove. I'm going to take I'm going to take a drink. You do your thing. I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this like when we were talking on the phone and stuff about this lesson? You said this is something you're seeing more and more now with new young drummers.
Yeah. A lot of times I see, I go to a show and I see somebody.
Yeah.
There'd be some young, new kid on the horizon, very talented, but not knowing when to do what he wants to do, and also not knowing that that's not the time. This is not the time for you to do your thing. Be in the middle of a song and the singer's singing, and he's just back there just blowing every chop that he knows, and every lick that he could ever come up with, and then by the time he gets to his solo, he's out of ammunition. He done shot it all up in one song. So it's just like, you get to your solo, you're like, oh, all right, I did that in the first song. Thank you, good night. No, but I'm just trying, I come across a lot of drummers and I just tell them, hey, respect the music, play the song the way it's supposed to be played. When it's time for you to shine, then you shine. And some nights you're not gonna get that shine. Some nights it's just all about keeping that groove.
Yeah.
It's all about just playing the music the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
And this is something that I'm just trying to, shine a light upon to all the new kids, and even drummers of our age or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them they're just swinging away, even on the ballot.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I did that once upon a time, and I had a couple of singers. I'll finish singing when you're finished. You finished? No, you're not? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, John Blackwell. Like, oh, hey.
Cool. Well, I think that's good, because when we were talking before, you said this lesson is two parts. So there's discipline. There's a time when you play and you need to just play the groove, stay in the pocket, and support the
artist
and the artist. Yeah. And that's what really gets you hired. It's rare that people hire you for all the other crazy stuff, but when you need that, improvisation.
All I'm really saying is to learn the music, play the music the way it's supposed to be played, but also study and learn all the things that you can learn. I watch videos every day and break them down, and I try to get every chop I can get.
Yeah.
But one thing I know is I know when and I know when not to. This song doesn't require me to play my new Billy Cobham lick that I learned from Spectrum or something like that. Yeah. I study all that. I mean, I'm a big Billy Cobham fan. I love Billy.
Yeah.
I love Tony. I love Papa Joe. I love Buddy Rich. I love Vinny. I love Dennis. I love all those guys. But one thing that those guys know, they are disciplined. So not only do I want to learn from them all the fabulous licks they do, I want to learn the discipline that they have. Because when they go on stage, they play the music the way it's supposed to be played, and then they know when to unleash and become who they are.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get, learn that. And I want students who I teach to be the same way.
Yeah.
Or people that I come across who ask me questions on the street. I try to tell them the same thing. Yeah. So I won't go to a concert and see somebody singing their heart out while the drummer's back there doing a one-hand roll.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, no, stop. 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what really separates the people who've got great chops, who can actually groove really well. And technically they're great. They're fast. They can play all the beats that they need to play. But it's the musical decisions that they make is what doesn't allow them to get to that top tier level which you've seen guys like yourself and Dennis Chambers. They have all the abilities to do all that crazy stuff, but they just know when to harness it and not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say I had a lot of good teachers.
Yeah.
You know, teachers like Larry Blackman from Cameo.
Yeah.
Bud Ellison, the late Bud Ellison from Patti LaBelle, and Prince.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Prince taught me a lot. Larry taught me a lot. That's one gig I didn't have. There was no time.
Yeah.
He didn't want that. You know, all Larry wanted on the show all night was.
Every time you hit that thing, I'm just like. Have you seen that movie? What's it called? It's like a cartoon movie where every time they yell "squirrel," the dogs are just like this. Every time you hit that thing, I'm just like.
Yeah, that's a whole little gimmick.
Okay, I just want to let you guys know, I didn't let anyone know at the beginning. I have so many people watching. Right below the video player, there's a little row of buttons. One of those buttons is submit a question. This is if you're watching it live, not the recorded version afterwards. But you can submit a question, and I won't be able to get to all of them, but we'll get to as many as we can. And I'll choose some, and I'll relay those to John. We'll talk about them right during this lesson while we are live. That's kind of a good segue, I guess you call it, into improvisation. And this is really something I'm interested in as well, as we were talking before, you know, building solos, just understanding how to improvise. It seems to just come so natural to you. So what do you do when you have, you laugh, but he laughs, but it comes so natural to you. It seems that way. Whether it does or to you, whether it does or doesn't, what do you do to practice it? What do you do to get better at improvising?
I mean, I studied the greats.
Yeah.
I studied a lot of history, all the way back to Papa Joe Jones and Roy Haynes and Tony Williams and Elvin and Billy Cobham and Narada Michael Wall and so many people, and my good buddy Dennis, you know.
Yeah.
And one other person that really took some time with me, Dennis took a lot of time, and I'm always grateful to him because he's always emailing me or sending me some video clip of some crazy Billy Cobham thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But also another guy, Don Familaro,
right,
who taught me about, you know, improvisation and soloing and building and knowing when to stop, when to take it to that max and when to drop it down. You know, just being musical and you know, watching a lot of Tony Williams as well too.
Yeah.
You know.
So listening and watching, and then what? Like as far as in a private lesson,
you just take in what you can. You know, everybody. You know, we got eyes, we got mind. We can see that, and we can suck it in, and we just take a little bit from everybody we can take from.
Yeah.
And because it's like I was telling you earlier, it's like gumbo. It's like you got crab, you got okra, you got undulé sauces, and you know, I know my gumbo. You got the roux, you got shrimp, and you got all this stuff in this pot, and you mix it in, and you eat it. It's just like eating, you know. And then for a solo, you take all these things from these different people and whatever is you as also you, and then you unleash it. Just it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Don't practice. Don't practice a solo.
Yeah, this is what I was going to tell the story. What I was telling him before is I'm practicing really hard for an upcoming event, and so I'm practicing a solo, and he's like, don't practice a solo. And I'm like, I looked at him like he was crazy.
Well, because and I'll tell my story. Yeah. I did that before, and I was with Don Pamilaro at this particular situation, and Don pulled me to the side and said, "Oh, John, did you practice that?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Don't ever do that again. Never practice a solo, John. You just play from your heart. You slam from your heart.
Yeah.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful." And I was like, "Yes, sir." And since then, I haven't. I mean, I can come up with something right now, and I'm not thinking about it. I just, I start.
Yeah. So what was I'm into seeing something more.
I'll try. Oh, I'll try. So it's just like.
So that was great, by the way. So when you're doing that, because you started the same as you ended, there was a common theme, some common themes throughout it, some repeating melodies or repeating patterns. Is that something? Is that just a style that you've developed, or is that like how would someone practice that? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
I have a tendency to kind of definitely repeat a lot of things.
Yeah, which is great. It gives us something.
It's like a book,
Yeah.
It's the subject, story, subject, whatever, in the middle, in the beginning, middle, end, And I mean, this was the subject,
So let's go with the subject. Is the subject something you have already practiced? Like, is that a pattern you just came up with?
It's just coming as I think, which is why I do repeat a lot, because I'm just thinking as I go along.
You're thinking about the next character, the next part of the book.
Right.
Okay.
So.
I'm trying to dissect you, John. I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna ask you questions.
I'm crazy. But that's just one way, that's just one example.
Yeah.
Of improv,
So would you recommend if a student come up with, let's say, a pattern like that, and then just play it over and over again until they can slowly start to build on it?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing, that groove can be a solo too.
Yeah.
So.
That's an idea.
And that's cool because you can do your thing up here on the toms, and you're still keeping the groove.
Yeah.
Kind of go-go type.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool. So, as far as improvisation, then I think. Like an ostinato, have you worked at all? Like, would you consider that an ostinato, what you're doing with your feet, and then building on top of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's something that you get credit where credit's due. I learned that from Marcus Williams.
Okay.
Who was the one that taught me how to do things with one pedal.
Yeah. That
normally is supposed to be done with double pedal. And being that my slave unit fell off, I have no choice but to do it with one pedal.
Yeah, you actually only
yeah, you know. So,
cool.
And which is another note when you're playing live. You know, if something drops, don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep playing.
Yeah, cool.
That's another part of being disciplined. You just keep going. If a cymbal falls off, just keep playing.
Cool.
That's what drum techs are for. They ran on stage and put it back for you.
Yeah.
But I don't have a drum tech today, so nobody.
Hey, I'll be your drum tech. I should have just jumped down there, but I had to get through all this. I'd probably spill water all over you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'd like to take some questions now, if possible. And now, while I sift through, there's a whole bunch that came in. Do you mind playing a little something? And I know I've just got you playing the whole time. Playing a little something. I'll choose some questions that are good because we won't have time to get through them all.
Okay.
And so otherwise, I'll sit here and stare at my screen the whole time.
I can play another song.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, if you guys want to check out more about John, you can go to the johnblackwellproject.com. He has 2 DVDs out with Hudson Music, Techniques and Showmanship, and the Master Series with John Blackwell. And also, we would like to thank all the sponsors that help you out with all the gear, like Tama and Yamaha.
Thank you.
And Zildjian, and all the guys that have helped out.
I want to give a shout out to my kids, Jada, Jeremiah, and Miko and Javen.
Nice. Cool.
And my lovely wife, Jaritza.
Cool.
You'll get mad at me for saying her name wrong.
Hey, you better not. Okay.
And all the Blackwell family and all my friends from W.J. Keenan High School and all the Prince fans, thank you.
Awesome.
And this song is called Father Daughter by Tom Coster.
Okay.
My good buddy.
Awesome. Okay, we have lots of questions. The first is from Sal Maximino. Sal Maximino. Hi, or my name is Mauricio, and I'd like to know how John Blackwell makes his hands cross over. Maybe like one crossover thing you can show us. Or are you just doing it for showmanship, or is it something?
You mean when I groove?
Yeah, like when you did lots of, even when in a lot of your fills, they're like your left hand's crossing over your right. Is there something you worked on to develop that, or was it just a natural?
This crossover, when I'm crossing over when I'm grooving, was an accident.
Okay.
And it just became something that I do now. Normally, when I was 17, I was in Atlanta with my mom and my sister. You know, we were getting her prepped for college in Atlanta. I found out through some people that Simon Phillips was in town and he was doing a clinic. And I was like, man, Simon Phillips, oh man, I gotta go see it. Mm-hmm. So I went to see Simon at the, he's playing at a place called the Roxy in Atlanta. And during the clinic, he was talking about being able to play left lead and being able to play right lead. So he was doing all these demonstrations. I thought he meant playing both ways, playing ambidextrous, but playing both ways at the same time. So I was just like, man, you know, and I started playing that way. And I was like, man, this works better. Not knowing that that's not what he was talking about, but it was almost like a blessing in disguise, I should say, from the mistake. So what I started doing was 1 and 3 on the left hand is 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right hand 2 and 4. And 2 and 4 on the snare on the left hand.
And then that I guess just became a natural thing around the kit and everywhere.
Yeah. But it came from. So when I got the Cameo gig, grooving, playing the Cameo music that way, it helped out tremendously, you know.
Yeah.
Because it was that gig, like I said, was just nothing but groove. So, you know, playing Candy or something. So it just, the more I did it, the more it just came natural. So whenever I play songs, that's how I play. Except when I do ballads, I still do right lead when I do ballads.
But so this you'd consider right lead, because sometimes you're even more up with your left. Because would you consider yourself an ambidextrous drummer? Because I think you are.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's ambidextrous and you have perfect pitch.
Yeah, in color tones.
What is that called? Synesthesia, Victor? What's it called?
Synesthesia.
Synesthesia. Oh no, I got it.
Here's some medication.
I need some medication.
This is a good one. This is from David. What was your motivation to learn and innovate your signature style of stick twirling? So like what made you decide, like all the stuff, it's very, even with the cymbal behind you, you know, you're such a groove drummer, but yet you also have this such high entertainment side of your playing as well.
I started playing in marching band. I was in the drumline back in Columbia, South Carolina. W.J. Keenan Marching Raider Rubber Band. And the guy that trained us was a guy named Kitchen. Rest in peace, Kitchen. He just passed away. But he really worked us and showed us all these great moves, including another guy who's one of my mentors, Jimmy Lee from Columbia, but lives in Atlanta now. He showed us how to twirl sticks, you know, because our drum section was always in battles with other schools. Like at the football game, it just became like a thing that always happened at the school, where we would challenge another drum section to a drum off, with stick twirling and marching and stuff, and rhythm cadences and just dancing and stuff. And every game we would have a battle. AC Flora, Columbia High School, Eau Claire, a lot of schools that we went against, and we had to bring it, you know. Otherwise, if we didn't, the school would talk about us and say, "Y'all got beat yesterday," you know. So we had to come up with all these moves, like, you know, this and catching the stick from the back and all this kind of stuff. So after all of that, after high school was over with, I went to Berkeley, and I gotta say, Kitchen whipped us into shape, and we won a couple of championships, and we went against one of the baddest schools ever. I gotta give them props, Burke High School in Charleston, South Carolina. And after all of that, I said, man, I got to do something with this stick twirling stuff that I learned, you know. So I said, okay, then we apply it to the drums, you know. And then also watching Sonny Greer from Duke Ellington, watching Sonny Emery, my big brother Sonny Emery. What's up, man? And Jerry Brown, Gene Krupa, Sonny Payne, you know, all these greats. And I watched them, but I wanted to come up with my own way of doing it. And the only thing I could think of was the stuff that I learned at Drumline at Berkeley. I mean, at W.J. Keenan High School in Columbia, South Carolina. So I said, how can I twirl a stick and hit the cymbal and still play? So I started saying, okay, normally I would do, but I said, what if I do this? You see what I'm saying? So I said, what if I say, just like I did. call that the uppercut, you know. If my pedal was connected, I'd say,
this one's from Goffa, and this is your signature snare. So they're asking, what are the dimensions of that snare? That's your signature snare from Town?
Yeah, my 6.5 by 13.
Okay.
Black nickel plated.
Yeah, looks cool.
13-inch.
And there is a 14-inch version as well?
Yes, the 14 just came out. Go buy it. 5 by 14.
Okay.
And I have three air holes with corks, but I keep them in. I don't take mine out.
Like you have corks that come with the...
Yeah, they come with the snare.
Oh, and you just unscrew them to...
Yeah, you can unscrew them.
I see.
You can take one out. You can take them all out.
Yeah.
But I prefer to keep all of them in. I don't take them out at all because I like that tight sound, you know.
Yeah, cool. This is a good one. This was from Chris Smith. Hey, John, honored to be asking you a question. I really enjoyed the lesson. I was wondering, what is your approach to writing original drum parts yourself?
I like that song the first song I played was something that I based off of Omar Hakim.
Okay.
You know, so I get a lot of inspiration from listening to other songs. Like Omar was on this album called Joe Sample's Spellbound, and he played on a song called 7 Years Good Luck, which is one of my favorite songs. The way he played the song was it's like the bass line went same key as my song. Ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, dum, dum, boom. Ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Dum, 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 dum. Ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. So the groove he did on that. So when I wrote Jeremiah's Sleeping Act, which was the name of the song that I first played, it's on my John Blackwell Project album. Go buy it. You know, iTunes, Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, www.johnblackwellproject.com. So when I wrote this song, I had just built a studio in my house, and I was just trying to test, you know, the system. I had, you know, little Pro Tools Logic system.
Yeah.
So I was just trying, and I built a sound booth. So I put the drums in there, and I had no engineer. So I pressed record and I run in, and the first thing I thought about was Joe Sample's Spellbound, with Omar. But I didn't want to play exactly what he played, so I said, I started thinking about something similar, like da-doom, 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 and then everything else built on top of that. But, you know, the beat came naturally because I was just trying to be different, but using that song as an inspiration to come up with the groove. So when I'm listening to other songs or I'm listening to other drummers, you know, not all the time. Sometimes things just come. You know, I just come up with just, because a lot of things come in my mind now.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting around watching TV or something, and I'll hear a groove in my mind, and I'll be like, let me lay that down and record it. You know, Like, for instance, I can just hear something now, you know. Down, like, wow, you know. So I just hear it.
Yeah.
Or either I base it upon something like 7 years. Or,
I think that's a good start for you, Chris. It's just like, maybe if you had a song, try and think of another song that you really like the beat and then take it and.
Or you can come up with beats with your own mouth.
Yeah.
There's one teacher that I had at Berkeley when I went to Berkeley College of Music. It was a guy named Lenny Nelson. Yeah. And he always told me, if you can hum it, you can play it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I would hum things and I'd just try to emulate it. I hear it and I'd be like, okay, let me see if I can lay that down.
Yeah.
And of course, it's coming from here.
Yeah.
So you slow it down. It's just like computer, you know, you have something going, you slow the tempo down and dissect it. But, you know, it's the same thing. You know, if you can hum it, you can play it.
Yeah.
Or you listen to a song that inspires you so much, you can come up with something and base it upon that song. Yeah. Which is what I did with Jeremiah.
Cool. Awesome. C. John 364, and we knew this question was going to come up, says, what technique do you use on your bass drum? Or what do you do? I went through lots of the questions, and many of them were relating to bass drum. And so,
ancient Chinese secret. Can't take. No, I'm kidding.
Everyone has to put in a quarter into your computer.
Yeah, you know.
And you'll share the secret.
All right, the foot. That's nice shoes. I like them. The great Marcus Williams. I always talk about Marcus.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this stuff. And also Don Famularo. I got to give credit to Don. Because Don was the first guy I saw when I was 14.
Yeah.
I saw him in the clinic in Columbia. And Don was playing all this crazy stuff. And I'm looking at his feet. And he's like doing double pedal stuff. And he's like, brrr, but he would take one foot off the pedal. He's like, brrr, and I was like, and then years later, I saw Marcus Williams, my teacher Jimmy Lee, told me about this guy, and he said, "Go see Marcus Williams. I can't teach you anymore, John.
Yeah.
Go see Marcus Williams." I was like, "Marcus Williams?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, let me go check him out." I called Marcus Collect. He didn't even know who I was, but I called him Collect. 4 a.m, and he answered the phone. He's like, "Who is this?" I said, "Hey, my name is John Blackwell. I heard about you from my friend Jimmy Lee, my teacher Jimmy Lee. Can I come see you at the club tonight?" And he was like, "Yeah, kid. Bye. I'll put your name on the list." What's John Blackwell? Okay, click. Yeah. So I go watch him, and he's on this small, like, Swingerman kit, wood grain, 10, 12, 14, 18-inch kick drum, which I kind of found out years later that the kit was a kit that Ed Blackwell owned. Yeah. And he kept it in Atlanta, and of course Marcus would play it when he was in the room. Marcus has got one pedal, he got this Cameo pedal, and they're playing Butterfly, by Herbie Hancock. Yeah. And, I come in, I'm watching, and he's playing with this keyboard player named Mose Davis. Mose gives him a solo. And he started off like, real sensitive, and he's doing all this crazy stuff, and then it just built to this crazy part, and his foot is just going like I had double pedal, I'll show you. Yeah. Like, And I was like this. And I ran, and the club owner told me, kid, I shouldn't let you in here because I can lose my liquor license. You stay in the back. I said, yes, sir, I'll stay in the back. When he got to that part where he was just going crazy, I ran, and the stage was above the bar. So I ran up on the bar to the stage, and I'm under his stool, and he's like foot is just going crazy, and I'm like, and he looked down, and he's like, ha ha. I was like, ever since then, I followed that dude around like a puppy. Yeah. I was just like, everywhere he go, I said, hey, can I carry a snare drum into the club for you? Can I get in? Everywhere he went, I went to see him. And finally, he gave me lessons. He showed me this exercise that I still practice to this day. Mm-hmm. And the key to it, and you can also watch this at, you can watch this on my Master Series video. I had Marcus as a special guest on my Master Series video by Hudson Music. Yeah. And Marcus explains all of this stuff. But one of the exercises is exercise in 7. So and you're supposed to tighten your pedal all the way to the max. No tension should be in your pedal. So it should be tight to the point to where you can't even press down. It's like where it's hard to press. So it's,
just crank the spring.
Yeah, so it'll build your muscles. Okay. It'll build your calf muscles up. But here's the practice, the thing you're supposed to practice in 7, the pattern. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. Right?
Okay.
So you fill the gap. You fill the gaps with the pedal. With the spring maxed out. Right. So once you master kick and snare, then you want to take that pattern and move it around the kit.
Yeah.
There's no new beats added. It's the same thing. You just placing it in different places. Gradually build it up.
Yeah.
Faster and faster, as fast as you can get it. But with the pedal maxed out, as I said before. Eventually, you're going to want to keep it tight. Because normally you would practice that way, and then when you go do a gig, you loosen it up.
Yeah.
But most times people just get so used to playing it that way that's how they play the gigs.
Yeah.
So, which is what happened to me. So once I practiced that for so many months and so putting all that time in and walking around limping, because that's what happened. I was like, man, I can't even walk. Yeah. And I told Marcus, I said, man, Marcus, I can't walk, man. He's like, I told you, you're going to be hurting. That's how he sounds. So I started doing gigs and,
That's very cool, man. I would love to put like a high-speed camera on your foot. That's very cool. Okay, that's all he's going to give you. Any more? I mean,
Go buy my video.
Yeah. So that's on the, you show that probably.
Master Series.
Yeah, so you guys can.
With Marcus Williams, a special guest.
Cool. This is a good one. Joe Radio 7 says, John, love all the music that you've brought us. Why did you choose the symbol behind you?
This is something I got from this guy named Fats Gallons. Mm-hmm. Like gallon of milk, but gallons.
Right.
And, I come from a small town, but the capital of South Carolina, Columbia.
Yeah.
And this, when I had to be 13. Me and my friend, Nokomis Chapman, we sneak into the township auditorium. They was having their own version of the Apollo.
Yeah.
It was called Night at the Township, Amateur Night at the Township. And, Amateur Night at the Apollo, they always have a major professional group, then they have the amateur section.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they didn't have the money to bring in a real super group, so they brought this local band from Atlanta, and Fats Gallons was the drummer. Mm-hmm. So me and Nokomis, we sneak in from the back entrance, because they were still loading in, and we walked in and we see this big old double bass drum kit, millions of toms. It was a white Tama Superstar kit from way back in, the first Superstar version, not the new one.
Yeah.
And we was just like, man, whose drum set is this? And I said, look at all these cymbals. And then he had this one cymbal that was just like, it's taller than where I had it, because this guy he was a very tall guy.
Yeah.
So this cymbal had to be all the way up from the ceiling. And it was like a flat piece of crash. And I was just like, man. I said, what's that cymbal in the back? And I said, I was like, maybe it's broke. Maybe that's why he put it back there. Yeah. But it was there because that's where he had it placed. And showtime comes and they're playing, they're doing some local things. Sushi was good. They were just playing That's the Way of the World by Earth, Wind & Fire, And he's just got all these braids in his head, and he's like, and then they gave him a drum solo, and he just went crazy. Just soon as the drop of a hat, he's like, and then he started saying, bang, 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 and he's doing double bass, and he's hitting that cymbal way up there. He's just hitting it. And me and Nokomis was on the side of the stage like, wow.
Yeah.
And we never forgot. And I actually met him years later. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, thank you, man. You gave me some ideas. So when I got to Berkeley, I said, man, I started doing cafe shows with other people and doing a singer showcase. I said, man, I'm gonna do that thing Fats Gallons did not too long ago. Yeah. And I said, man, but I don't want to be like him. I don't want to copy him. I'll just put the China back there. So that's when I put the China behind me. Yeah. And I started doing the same thing, except instead of just doing what he did, I twirl. Yeah. So I go from here to here, it's like. And then I would hit it from the back. And the first time I did it, this guy, one of my friends from school, was like picking on me. He laughed at me. So I'm heading to class one day. This is when I was at Berkeley. So I'm heading to class, and he's heading to his class. But he says he saw me the night before when I did it. He said, "Hey, John." I said, "Yeah." He said, ha ha ha, and I was mad. I wanted to punch him or something. I was like, okay, yeah, that's funny. All right, yeah, go ahead and laugh. All right, hey, see you later, man. What I remembered was Art Blakey always said, no matter if they say something good or if they say something bad about you, it's good.
Yeah.
So I said, all right. I said, yeah. That's why I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Hey.
Yeah.
And then later on, people started saying, hey, John, are you playing tonight? I said, yeah, I'm playing. Are you going to have that China behind your back? And I was like, yeah. So it stuck. And it became a thing. And another person that inspired me to put the China behind my back was Sheila E. and Jonathan Sugarfoot Moffett.
Yeah.
Because, Moffett has his thing, so,
He has two behind his?
Yeah, he has two symbols.
Okay.
And Sheila, if you get the Sign of the Times album cover from Prince, you can see Sheila's drum set in the back, and she has this China, actually right where I have mine, but a little bit over the edge, and she would play it like that, Huh. So those two also inspired me, besides Fats Gallons.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, man, we are so out of time. We're way over time.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we're half an hour over time.
Oh.
So I don't know if you want to just play a little bit to play us out, but it's totally up to you. You've been playing. You're good to play a little bit more? Awesome. I'll say one more thing, because we'll end as soon as you're done playing. You guys check out all of John's stuff. Check out the johnblackwellproject.com.
Yeah.
Check him out. Find him on Facebook and follow him and support him. He came with the Drumeo, and he's given us this lesson. It's been awesome. And so people are loving it. It's going to be one of our probably most attended lessons. So it's
really,
yeah. I don't. He always looks confused when I tell him.
No, I got so much to learn, and I'm my own worst critic,
Yeah, you're an artist, which cool. But yeah, check out all this stuff. Like I said, thanking Tama for helping out. Yamaha, we use a bunch of cymbal stands. You're also sponsored with a DTX.
Yes, Yamaha DTX.
Yeah, and then Zildjian cymbals and sticks.
Yes.
Cool. So I'll just sit here and watch you play, and then afterwards we're done. But thank you so much for coming out, man.
No.
We'll have you out again. We'll do like a 14-hour.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And peace out. See you in the city near you, hopefully soon. Yeah. Just groove.